It's a terrible precedent. You don't want them investigating donations to religious organizations, and there's no reason for the government to do so.
Well, here's a reason. What if jihadists fund the mosque? A new poll by Quinnipiac says 71% of New Yorkers want to know who's financing the project. Just 22% do not. Joining us now from Irvine, California, Mohammed Ali Hasan, a Muslim who actually campaigned for President Bush. So you don't want, you're with Bloomberg. You don't want to know who's funding this mosque, right?
Well, ultimately, Bill, yes, I'm with Bloomberg, and I think what we have to understand, we have to have more faith in the American system of accountability. El Gamal, the developer, he's going to be sending his taxes to the IRS. The Cordoba Initiative is also going to be a nonprofit. They're bound by law to put their revenues online, make it transparent for all of the public to see. So I think we have to have faith in the Treasury and the Justice Department. If they see something fishy in those nonprofit returns or in El Gamal's personal returns, they will indict them.
Yeah, but you're talking about apples and oranges now. Let me pose this hypothetical question. What if Iran decides to build a mosque, fund the mosque? You okay with that?
Well, I'm going to ask you, apples and oranges again. Are we talking about an organization from Iran, the Iranian
I'm talking about
government?
the Iranian government sending the money to the developer to build the mosque. Right. Are you okay with that?
No, we have sanctions on Iran right now, and we need to honor those sanctions.
Okay, but they do it through, we have sanctions on Iran, but they do it through a Swiss corporation. They do it through a mosque in London, England. Come on. You know what I'm talking about. Are you okay with Iranian money building that structure? Yes or no?
No, I'm not okay with it.
All right, fine. And you and I have common ground. Now we just have to get Mr. Bloomberg into the real world. So that's the thrust of any investigation. Where is the money coming? Is it coming from Wahhabists in Saudi Arabia who are going to have a radical line in that mosque? Is it coming from there? The American people have a right to know who is funding these organizations and these buildings, because we are at war with radical Islamists. Simple as that.
Bill, I'm going to disagree. Again, we have to have faith in our American system of accountability. Bill, you have no conclusive evidence.
Trust but verify. Who said that? Trust but verify.
Bill,
who said it?
You have no conclusive evidence.
Ronald Reagan. I have no evidence that anything's happening. All I want.
You have no conclusive evidence.
I have no.
No, Bill.
I
all
disagree
of your
with
facts
you.
are based
I have
on
no
hearsay.
evidence that anything.
What evidence do you have that Iran is going to fund it?
I just told you.
Where
I
is
have
that
no evidence, Mr. Hasan. This is the fourth time.
Okay, then how can you pursue an investigation without
I don't want to
evidence?
pursue anything.
You're doing an investigation based on guilt by association.
Here's what I want.
That's what you're doing.
Let me be real clear. What I want is, if these pinheads down there get the money to build a structure, I want them to have a press conference and say, here's who gave me the money. You object to that?
Well, Bill, they're a nonprofit.
I don't care what they are. I don't care what they are. I want to know who gave them the money to build the structure. Are you okay with that?
Bill, you need to understand, nonprofits in America have to disclose all their revenues and all their contributions.
So you agree with me that they should come right out and say, here's who gave us the money, here's how much it is, bing, 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 here's the list. Bloomberg doesn't want that. Bloomberg says, hey, we shouldn't even ask these questions because it's just untoward. That's what Bloomberg's saying. And how do you get around the fact that 71% of New Yorkers disagree with the mayor? 71%.
You get around that fact because we're guided by a constitution, not by poll numbers.
Now we're back in the Constitution. The Constitution says we shouldn't know who has money building stuff? No, it doesn't.
Yeah, the Constitution also doesn't say we should be guided by emotional poll numbers. We got to ask ourselves the question, what is the right thing to do? The right thing to do is to allow these people to have their right to worship, their right to private property, and their right to security, and their right to privacy. And they're going to release these records as a nonprofit. I suggest you just sit down and wait and be patient.
Okay.
And if there's something fishy, the Treasury or the Justice Department will take care of it.
So I'm supposed to have faith in the government, the same government that couldn't protect us on 9/11. Sorry, Mr. Hasan, not buying it.
Bill, ultimately, you have no conclusive evidence to do an investigation.
Okay, fifth time.
You have nothing.
I don't have any evidence about anything. I want to know. I want to know who's financing that building. Mr. Hasan, we appreciate you coming in. Lively debate. Directly ahead, our American Muslim